We're in a pretty typical classroom that you would find at UW-Madison. Our average class size is actually 31 students. That surprised me a lot coming in. I think I picture those big lecture-style classes all of the time, but that's definitely not the case here, especially as you move on through your years. Your first couple semesters, you might be taking general education requirement courses, prerequisites for your major, and those tend to be on the larger side. So for example, I had to take an Economics 101 course my first semester here. That was a lecture hall with about 200 to 300 students, and that was led by my professor. But since I did have a class of that size, I had a required discussion section every week as well. That's in a smaller classroom with only about 15 to 25 students, and that's led by a teaching assistant or a TA who's a graduate student or PhD candidate in the certain field. And what's really great about those discussion sections is you don't learn any new material. You just go over what you learned in lecture. You might do a discussion sheet handout, take a quiz. Just make sure everyone knows what they really need to know before heading into that next week with more of that new material in the lecture halls. I also really encourage students to take advantage of professor and TA office hours. They have hours every single week where they're literally just sitting in their offices waiting for students to come talk to them. I've made awesome relationships with so many of my professors and my teaching assistants here by going to those office hours. They offer to help students with research, write letters of recommendations, be references for students, so definitely something that you should take advantage of here. Moving into other academic resources that we have at UW-Madison, we have Greater University Tutoring Service. They offer drop-in tutoring locations all around campus for various subjects. My first semester here, I also had to take calculus, and I'm not much of a math person, so what I would do to make sure I had confidence before going into any tests, exams, quizzes, anything like that, I would go to my favorite dining hall, I'd get dinner, I'd do my calculus homework, and then whenever I had a question, I could go and sit down right next to that tutor, and they'd help me work through my homework, so I'd be good to go. We also have a writing center on campus, and you can make 30-minute to an hour-long appointments with them for literally anything writing related. So that's also something I like to do, have people check over my writing before I turn it in for an actual grade. As a student here, you will have both academic and career advisors. Those are incredible people to talk to, making sure you're ready to graduate on time, taking the courses that you need for your major. Career advisors, they'll help you look at different internships, full-time jobs, anything related to job or internship fairs, just making sure, again, you're really confident in going out and being a very productive Badger here on campus.